President Bola Tinubu's 50 days in office with 50 days of untold hardship on Nigerian citizens. This is a key issue to be analyzed and to be reviewed to be able to predict how long the Nigerians will suffer under Tinubu's government. Okay, so when you look at President Tinubu's inauguration from May 29, 2023, right from his inauguration day speech, first big problem that came out was that he removed fuel subsidy. Okay, even when it was said that it was not in the speech that was written for him to go and read, he just, went there and added that one on his own. That is the beginning of the problem of APC and the beginning of hardship of Nigerians under Tinubu's APC government. Okay, now since they removed fuel subsidy, prices have gone as high as 500, as high as 600, as high as 700, as high as almost 800 naira per liter, before it came back again to settle around 500. And now, from that time, the demand for fuel by citizens has gone down because people are not able to buy. Suffering started, prices of commodities went up, prices of transport system across the country went up. Everything started going bad. Businesses started crumbling. Food items scarcity and high prices started all the way. And right now, it's a serious one going on in the country. Everyone is complaining that Tinubu's government is starting on a very bad note with the removal of subsidy. It was recorded that Buhari had planned to remove that subsidy in June. So you just came in May 29. So why not allow the whole of June to go before you start taking action? And even if you are going to take action, why not put mitigative measures in place to manage the consequences and the ripple effect of removal of the subsidy before you remove it, so as to cushion the effect? The only thing they planned to do was to share palliative, and they got about $800 million from World Bank or so to share as palliative. That was actually initiated by Buhari's government before he left. Now, this is 50 days in office. Nobody is talking about the palliative. Nobody knows where that money is. And up to now, they are still reviewing whether they should give 8,000 or give 12,000. Whether they should give it to the 12 million Nigerians or they're going to give it to 50 million Nigerians. We just don't know the direction they're going. But life is still very, very difficult going ahead. 50 days of Tinubu's in office. Now, as if the first subsidy matter is not enough, the next thing is they decided to float the Naira exchange rate, saying that the market forces will determine the exchange rate. So now another wrong thing in that action is that in floating the Naira, you are now saying that the government exchange rate is going to move up to go and meet up with the black market parallel exchange rate. Is that the best of these economic decisions, or is that the best of monetary policy to be implemented? Okay, because the floating of the Naira is not helping the Naira as well. Now, the government is supposed to be such that they will, find a way to in closing the gap between the black market parallel rate and the government rate. They should find a way to crash what the black market is doing, what the Bureau de change is doing, okay, and then try to crash their own to come down to whatever exchange rate that the government is implementing, but not crashing government own exchange rate to go and meet up with black market parallel price. Is that so? That will tell you that the economic decision was very, very bad, and it was recorded that immediately that happened, Dangote's net worth and Dangote's value for its refinery investment that done in refinery crashed by close to 50%. Okay, big businessmen in Nigeria like Mark Adenuga of Glo also experienced about 50% crash in its total net worth. So meaning that it's affecting small people, it's also affecting big people. The people that have invested so much money to help the economy of Nigeria to grow are now losing their investment, are now losing the value of their investment, the value of their net worth. That is a very bad one. Okay? That is a very bad one. That is a very bad one. Still within the 50 days of Tinubu in office, the next thing he did was to arrest the CBN governor, removed him, and then put another Yoruba man there, and then went also and picked out the chairman of the EFCC. Okay, and at the end of the day, what has these two people done? Rumors have it that they did not support his campaign and his presidential bid because they initiated the issue of Naira redesign to frustrate his effort. Okay, and so with that, he vowed that he would revisit the issue if he's made the president, and now he eventually made himself a president by the rigging process that took place with INEC, and now he has gone to arrest those people. Okay, you are arresting those people. What about the government that made them whom they are? The Buhari's government, the Buhari's executive arm of government that actually nominated and put these people and gave them instruction as to what they are doing. Because both CBN governor or the former CBN governor and the former FCC chairman wouldn't have acted in isolation. They must have acted under the instruction of the presidency. Okay, but now you are not looking at the presidency, you are not looking at these two people, and you are now punishing them for no reason. Okay, so if you really want to fight corruption, you need to go and hit the root. You need to go down to Buhari, you need to go down to everybody in Buhari government that were part of that initiative. But you are not doing that. You are just holding these two people hostage, and there's no judgment. Okay, now they have secured judgment to be released. They are still looking for some other things to hang on the MFL. Okay, the next thing we had is that what is his name? The former EFCC chairman was whisked out of DSS custody, and who could have done that? Will DSS be sleeping? So all of this happening under Tinubu's government is very, very terrible. As if it's not enough, they've gone back to first subsidy again a few days ago, and then increased the price, official price, to about 617 naira per liter. Who is going to afford it? Nobody is going to be able to afford it. Okay, now the next thing we are seeing, the kind of people Tinubu is also putting to form his cabinet are also people with corruption cases, people with questionable characters, and they're all there working with him. That is to tell you that this government cannot fight corruption. Whatever they're telling us now that doing to fight corruption is all boo-boo because they can't fight corruption. Corruption cannot fight corruption. Dog not the chop dog except a mad dog. That is the truth. And even if it's a mad dog, other dog will gather and kill him. That is it. So this government is not ready to fight corruption. 50 days of Tinubu's presidency, we see the amount of hardship that is on the people. No food, no fuel, no light, no security, nothing. The killing and banditry in the north has increased, especially in Plateau State. And that is why a member of the House of Rep has called for declaration of the state of emergency in Plateau State. And there's another member of Rep again that's calling for grounding of all the bandits in Benue State. Okay, so at the end of the day, you now see that Tinubu's government is obviously going to be worse than Buhari's government. And Buhari has warned him that as he's going, nobody should call him to come and testify in court over anything. They warned all the ministers that worked under him. If you are called for a corruption case, go and answer it by yourself. And I see that Tinubu is not ready to ask Buhari any question because he said he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped. And that is why he has been nicknamed Buhari Pro Max. Okay, so 50 days of Tinubu in office has been 50 days of hardship all the way. And so if you're going to stay 4 years, meaning it's going to be 4 years of elevated hardship, and it's going to be a very, very terrible one. It's going to be quite unfortunate to have Tinubu as Nigerian president for the next 4 years. Again, in 50 days in his office, the tribunal case is still lingering. There are cases of trying to influence the tribunal to make sure the judgment comes out in favor of Tinubu, and that is why one Justice Ugo has tendered his resignation, and it's not going to be part of that influence to compromise judicial judgment or judicial outcomes. Okay, and that resignation has sent ripples to ripple shock waves into the tribunal and into the judiciary over across the country. So 50 days of Tinubu in office is 50 days of hardship. And so 4 years of Tinubu in office is eventually going to be 4 years of untold hardship. The question is, we have seen the level of hardship. What have we not seen? What more will Tinubu unleash on the people of Nigeria? Because he's desperate to be president and is ready to do anything to remain president. So Nigerians should be ready.